right. I think we got it. We're live.
Let's go.
Live from the car. Leaving Bristol.
Tuesday. Yeah, we're leaving Bristol, Virginia.
Yes.
Tuesday evening. Almost Wednesday.
Yeah.
Transit from Bowling Green, Kentucky to somewhere in the middle of Virginia. I don't know.
Danville. It's actually Alton. VIR is in Alton. But Danville's a bigger city, so people don't know. Technically, Goodyear has an entire plant there too. But they're closing it, so we probably shouldn't talk about it. I'm talking about that. We are on race log number 7. And we had a pretty decent day at NCM. We optimized the car fairly well. The track is not set up very well.
These long tracks are killing us.
Yeah, the long tracks are killing us. That's for sure.
Just low on horsepower.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're low on horsepower. We did what we could. Actually, the first session, I forgot to turn the horsepower management system on. So we didn't quite do what we could, but I did it with my foot. But I didn't realize what was happening, so that caused a problem. I ended up using up too much energy too quick. But in the second session, with that on and the power turned down a little bit, it worked out pretty well. But more importantly, in between, we tried out the new slap some ice on there and see how it goes idea. And it worked great. We got police up here. Is this one of our buddies? Not a buddy. We're good. Not a buddy. I was watching the Discord. There have been several people who have been visited already. Yeah. And
they don't take speeding lightly in Virginia.
No. They're all over it. Yeah, so anyway, we played with trying to get the car to cool between sessions. So the problem is we're always trying to get the car cool for the second session and the one lap sort of style thing here. Usually it's cool in the morning, and we don't DC fast charge in the morning, so the car doesn't make itself hot. And that gets us in good position to start the day, but then in the middle of the day, the air temp warms up, the track temp warms up, we have to DC fast charge, so the car warms itself, and it's been very, very difficult to get the car back down reasonable, which means that it limits the power in the second session even more than it otherwise would. So we learned about the latent heat of water. By we, I mean me. And it's like a factor of 75, more than I thought it was. So when we put a little ice on the radiator and let it circulate for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that, the car cools quite well. And then we charge it back up, get the power back from the cooling, and then get the tire motors on and get it ready to go. And we actually started with the same temperature as in the morning, in the afternoon, even though it was much warmer. So that was great. And the power thing was on, so that was great too.
It was about as good as it could go.
Yep. It doesn't really change our position much because we're not. The gaps between the cars are pretty far, and we're having to lay off the power quite significantly. So over one lap, we'd be right up at the top, but over 3 laps, we had to manage the pace. Yeah, but no, we got Starlink working, so we can play in the car. And the charging has been going well. This drive, another super long one, so we're not going to get in until pretty late again. But yeah,
little faster too than the other tires. On this car, it's probably pretty much the same. But,
Yeah.
so we're not sure if we're going to make it with all of our tires. With our tires having tread
Intact.
and not being completely corded.
But fortunately, the weather's been good.
Yeah.
So we have the dry weather tires, and it's been dry more or less every session. And it seems like that will continue at least tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the big challenge, it seems, for the fast cars is they don't seem to ever have the tire that you want to run in the size that you need to run. And that's the case for, I mean, we love the Goodyears. I think actually what's great about these is they're so quiet, even when you beat the snot out of them. They've been super quiet on the road. So, you know, the tire selections are for us, were basically 3 different ones.
Yep.
Continentals, Michelins, or Goodyears. And we love the Goodyears for when we were running them for Grid Life. And
The R
I think
things too.
they were, yeah, the Supercar 3R. So Supercar 3 is a one lap allowed tire. So that's the one we're running this year. Give it a go. I think that just the concern is heavy car on beating up these tires over these number of days. But we'll see. We'll see where they end up.
Yeah, we may have to resort to extraordinary measures at some point.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. Yeah, so third place. Good things today.
Tomorrow's VIR, not to be confused with BIR, which is kind of our home track.
Yeah, BIR. I was there.
Virginia International.
Yes.
Not Brainerd International.
Yes. I was at VIR a few weeks ago
I don't know how old the VIR is, but I'll bet BIR was around before VIR if I had to guess.
VIR is also pretty old. Let's look it up.
1953.
No, definitely not that. I don't think
I
so.
think that's BIR. It was Donnybrook course was first installed in 53.
Yeah, that's old. That's super old. 1953, you said?
Yeah, that would be my guess. I could be wrong.
1957.
Well, check.
VIR.
Make sure that I have
All right,
VIR
all right.
right.
You're right.
57 for VIR, Virginia International.
What did you think it was? 53?
53.
Alright, let's find it.
Those nutcases used to take turn 1 in the flimsiest Can-Am cars.
Dude, 68.
68?
68.
What am I thinking of 53?
Is that like Road America or something? No, Road America, I think it's even older.
Alright, I was completely wrong. I would have said 53. Anyway, 68. Okay.
They're both old. They've been around a long time. That's for sure.
That sort of aligns with the Can-Am comment.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Road America is 53.
53, okay, so I was thinking.
Yep, you're thinking Road America. And they first did it on the actual roads around
Oh, yeah.
the town of Elkhart Lake, yeah. And then they switched it to the actual track in 55. So there you go.
Sweet.
Road America is awesome. Yeah, so this is a whole track. And I was there about a month and a half ago, something like that. Just a rental car, trying not to damage it or destroy it in any way. And 3 different brands of. The Goodyear was the best one on the outside front, but the other ones were not very good at all. I just tried to drive without using the brakes. I do a whole bunch of laps. I drove that car on track for over an hour.
And that's the second Mustang that you've had 3 different brands of tires on.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know why that's a
No, I
thing.
think it's the
but it's
third
a
one.
thing.
Is that the other one was a Challenger. the Challenger also had 3 different brands of tires, or maybe
Must be
even
a feature
4.
of Avis or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not sponsored by Avis, right?
No, we're not.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so it was a good day. And then Peter, one of the other teams, Peter had a GT2 RS, and he saw me driving around in the rental Mustang, and I think took pity on me and said, "You got to drive in something faster than that." So he let me do a session, a 20-minute session in his car, which of course is a great gift, and yeah, it's a lot faster. In his car. Plus, his car is super fun to drive. The only thing that they had wrong was the front splitter wasn't there. So I think
Little aero imbalance.
yeah, the front was just like it was very floaty. When you go through a turn, it was like steering a boat from the wrong end or something. Because there's very little. You would suggest where you want the front to go, and it would eventually get there or not. But I think that was just air bits being torn off. And he put it back on. He said the car was good again, and just overall the car is very, very good. Lots of fun to drive. So that was awesome, and then got me up to speed. So I didn't take the rental Mustang out again after I was in that car. I figured that was probably the last memory to have. So that's where we're going back to. There's 3 different places on the lap where you go Mach 400.
Did you talk about Hedge? Have we talked about Hedge at all? Hedge Hollow?
Not really. What do you want to say about Hedge?
That you almost
Oh yeah,
had Thanksgiving early?
yeah. At Hedge Hollow in the afternoon session, right? Yeah, in the afternoon session.
Slammed on the brakes for
a turkey. Was it the first lap or the second? I have video of it, so we'll be able to see it. I don't remember whether it's the first lap or the second lap, but it was one of the 2. And we're managing power quite a bit, so I'm not going full speed anywhere, especially on the straights. I lift maybe 70%, maybe even 50 or 40%, just to like maintain speed. So some of the guys would have been going faster, much faster, but we were going about 145 over the crest, and you come down the crest and then into a biggest braking zone on the track, I think, maybe, yeah, biggest one, and hard left 180. So as I went over the crest and just tipped over the edge, there was a turkey running from the side, from the right side. I thought for a second it was a road runner, because it was like pretty...
Scoop.
Yeah, it was running fast, and it wasn't very like thick. It was
I'd be running too if you had a 5,000 barreling down
at 145.
Yeah,
I was going 145 over. I remember seeing 145, and then the turkey. And
you need to normally cook those at 350.
Right. Yeah, I was going to be sick, and turkey was going to be toast. So I hit the brakes. I think that's the only thing I did. There was nothing. I couldn't steer. There's nowhere to go. I'm basically on the line. I'm committed already, and the turkey took off and went right over the car. I don't know how close it was. Yeah, there's no feathers or anything. And then he landed on the other side. So I came around the other side, and he was there too. Unfortunately, ran off before I got over there. So I don't think I've ever come close to hitting any wildlife on a track.
He's got a good story. We have a good story.
True. There have been people that hit deer at Road America on the track.
Yeah, that's not.
They have 12-foot fences trying to keep the deer off, and they still somehow get in there.
Turkey at a $150 would be.
I think it would kind of explode.
Well, and a car would too. It's just a very.
Yeah. How heavy is a turkey? Like a wild turkey, like 5 pounds.
I only know how heavy they are after.
I know.
When I get them at the store.
But those are kind of big. I think those are
30 pounds, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think this was 30 pounds. It was running. And it was very thin.
Now we're fat shaming the turkey.
No, he was
the other way
he was in
around.
shape.
He was in shape.
Yeah, he was in shape. It was great. He looked great. Just didn't want him on the grill.
Yeah. Although grilled turkey's also good.
True.
So anyway,
That's what we learned. Grilled turkey is good, but we didn't want it on the car.
exactly. I think that probably should do it.
That should do it for tonight. Well, we'll figure out something else. VAR track walk.
VIR. Turkeys.
Weed the brakes, charge the car, get the shims out, get the tires ready, sleep for 2 hours. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Thanks. I don't know how to turn this off though. Oh, there it is.